Hey Internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. I just got done looking at a topic of, will Final Fantasy 15, will that pull a profit? And honestly, for somebody who did go to school, and I have been researching the industry a lot, and looking at how much work in which that went into Final Fantasy 13 versus, and now Final Fantasy 15, it's something to where I say that this is a long-term project. I mean, it's going to pull a profit whether or not like this thing, if it sells good or not. To be fair, it's going to sell millions because of course it's a Final Fantasy game, and what they have been showing us, a lot of people are going to go out and buy that game day one because it's Final Fantasy, and honestly, it is the first Final Fantasy game ever since Versus, not Versus, since the 13 debacle, that actually sort of looks and feels like our very own traditional Final Fantasy game, or at least it feels like how we expected 13 to look and play, which that's something crazy. I mean, excuse me, I know that that's a little bit crazy for me to say, or at least a little bit obvious, but it's clear, it's clear to see that they want Final Fantasy 15 to be successful because it is the first one to actually have a demo in which that people can now if you have type 0, you can easily go on, you can access it, you can play it, you can tell them the good and the bad, and they update it and they constantly work on it until the game's release, which is sort of reminiscent of how Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes was in contrast to Metal Gear Solid 5. So really looking at it, I'm I think that this thing, it will actually turn a profit because, they are putting so much time and effort into it, but also looking at it as looking at how things went with Final Fantasy 13 and those three games. This is going to be a very long ass story, or at least this is going to be a very long ass game. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind that this isn't going to be something that isn't going to be stretched into a 15, a 15-2, a 15-3, the fucking closure story. Because that's sort of how they do things now. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or pretty much anything, but looking at how well that they have done to try and present this game to most fans out there, in which that they have done a lot of things to pretty much live up to that 6-year, how long has it been? That fucking 9-year hype. They have been doing a lot of good shit, man, I swear. But honestly, the question is, will this be enough to actually satisfy them to see it as a successful launch? That is a little bit more difficult to say, because even if they do make $9 million, $10 million, it's hard to say how much they actually sunk into actually trying to produce this game, or at the very least compared to most of their other games. So really, I don't got really too much else to say about that. But please tell me. Well, I have a lot more. I just don't want to make this video long as fuck. But until then, please tell me what do you think about it down there in the comments section. I would really like to know what everybody else thinks about this topic. And yes, if you like this video, please hit that like button down there. I'll catch you on the next John Graves Show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.